All right, let's jump right in. Today, we're talking about a really powerful and, let's be honest, kind of counterintuitive strategy for getting those huge clients. The ones that can totally change your business overnight. We're going to learn how to hunt for whales.
And this quote, it really just cuts right to the chase. This one idea is the key to rethinking your entire marketing strategy. It's all about realizing you might be wasting your best efforts on the wrong prospects. So let's talk about what most businesses get completely wrong. They buy into what we're calling the great marketing lie. You know what I mean? They just blanket the market with ads and emails, treating every single person exactly the same. It's like a farmer trying to grow a crop by just tossing seeds into the ocean and hoping for the best. It's not just a little inefficient, it's incredibly expensive. And here's the simple, hard truth that just shatters that lie. In business, not all prospects are created equal. I mean, not even close. Some are worth hundreds, maybe even thousands of times more than others. And just accepting that fact is the first real step to marketing that actually makes money. So, you know that old saying, treat everyone equally? Well, in marketing, that's one of the most expensive lies you can possibly believe. It sounds nice, it sounds fair, but what it really leads to is a ton of wasted time, wasted energy, and a marketing budget that just seems to disappear into thin air. Okay, let's get into the numbers, because this is the part where this whole strategy goes from just being a good idea to being an absolute no-brainer. You've got to do the whale math to really see why this isn't optional for a serious business. Just look at this. It's just so obvious when you see it laid out. You've got client A, we'll call them a minnow, who might be worth $500 to you over their lifetime. But then you've got client B, the whale, and they're worth $100,000. The gap between them isn't just big, it's astronomical. So you really have to ask yourself this question. Why on earth would you spend the exact same amount of money, let's say $50, on a generic ad to try and get both of these clients? It makes zero logical sense. None. And yet, this is what most businesses are doing every single day. So this brings us to a super important rule. It's simple. If a client is potentially worth 100 times more to your business, will they deserve 100 times the effort, 100 times the creativity? Your energy and your budget have to match their value, period. And this is exactly why that obsession with getting cheap leads is such a dangerous trap. I mean, who cares if you got a click for $3? It's completely pointless if all those clicks are just filling your net with minnows. People who can't actually afford what you sell and are just going to end up wasting your team's precious time. So if that shotgun approach of just blasting the whole market is broken, then what's the answer? Well, it's what we call the sniper rifle approach. It's about stopping those wasteful broad strokes and starting to use profitable, surgical precision. And it all starts right here with something called a hit list. Now, this isn't some giant spreadsheet with 1,000 names on it. No way. This is a short, super focused list. We're talking 10, maybe 20 of your absolute dream clients. The ones you dream about landing. The ones where getting just one of them would literally change the entire game for your company. And once you have that list, you build a campaign that's basically impossible for them to ignore. We're not just sending an email here. We're talking a full-on, high-touch assault. Imagine this, a physical package with a hand-addressed label lands on their desk. Then they get a perfectly personalized email. A little later, an actual human being calls them on the phone. And to top it all off, everywhere they go online, your ads magically seem to follow them. That's how you cut through all the noise. But here's the funny thing. The most powerful part of this whole strategy is also the simplest. It's the one thing most people just won't do. The secret weapon, believe it or not, is just good old-fashioned persistence. And the results of being persistent? Well, they're insane. The company that really perfected this method saw a 500 to 700% increase in the number of consultations they booked. Seriously, let that sink in. That isn't a typo. That's a game-changing, business-altering lift in results. This chart shows you exactly how they did it. It's brilliant. See that first little bar on the left? That's what they got from just sending out a generic email blast. Kinda sad, right? Now, look at the second bar. The difference is massive. And you know what the only change was? They added a personal human follow-up call. That's it. That was it. That was the whole secret sauce. A real person picked up a phone and called another person who showed just a tiny little bit of interest by clicking a link. While all their competitors were scheduling another automated email, they were having a real conversation. So the takeaway here is crystal clear. Your competitors, they're going to quit after one try, maybe two if they're feeling ambitious. You have to be the one who follows up 3, 4, even 5 times. That persistence is what sets you apart. Trust me, that's where the money is. Okay, let's wrap this up and talk about how you can start your first whale hunt. And honestly, the biggest thing you have to do is make a fundamental shift in your mindset. You have to stop worrying about cost and start focusing only on the return on investment, the ROI. Just look at the difference here. An amateur sees a $5,000 cost to get a client and they immediately think, whoa, that's way too expensive for one lead. But a pro looks at that same $5,000 to land a $100,000 client and thinks, are you kidding me? That's an absolute steal. They get it. It's all about the return.
So here it is. Here's your mission, plain and simple. Stop wasting your money feeding the minnows. It's time to start hunting whales. I want you to sit down, like today, and pick your 10 dream clients. Then create a campaign for them that they just can't ignore. And finally, follow up, and then follow up again until they absolutely know who you are.
And that leaves us with just one last really important question that you need to answer the second this is over. Who are your 10 dream clients? Now go get them.